Well, welcome to the Dawn Patrol. I'm Bob Hoey. It's going to be a special day because it's our last day. We take a couple of weeks off. But sitting next to me is a lifelong friend, Marty Lorrey. And next to him is our newest addition to the show, Cisco, which is...
the Cisco Kid.
Yeah, he does everything. He's already inviting all of us to go to Puerto Rico.
We're going to Puerto Rico.
Next to him, Tom Bomil, and the producer and the person behind the camera is John McDonough. Well, I guess we're getting Karen Cassella later on. That always excites me.
Yeah, I didn't eat anything this morning, except for Karen, Bobby, and by the way, there's a piece of meatloaf over here over there. I made some meatloaf yesterday, so when you're leaving, grab it. Yeah.
It's funny, but I said, what are you going to, what do you want to talk about today? I said, I want to keep it local again, to pick Marty's brain and to pick...
That won't take long.
No. When it comes to politics and elections, my brother, let me tell you something. Not many in Lowell. There's a few. I don't know who I can say. Maybe Pangy, that knows elections and the Democratic Party. Sorry to say it, right? Because you're a Democrat, I'm unenrolled.
No, he's unenrolled now.
Oh, are you?
Yeah.
All right, great.
He finally jumped ship.
A couple of years.
Yeah. But even there was a couple of things that just blew my mind a little bit. One was Eric Gitchia not topping the ticket. And I know a few reasons why he didn't, because he's a person, the way he does things, he's going to tick people off too. He's going to lose some because he's doing his job, But then the guy sitting next to you, Cisco, I said, oh, my God. Because I thought it was a fabulous campaign that he run. And when I seen the results, I was shocked. There was a couple of things like that. But on the other side, Marty, was, for me, I'm a real happy camper because of Danielle McFadden getting on the school committee. We had one that resigned, which I thought was a micromanager, with someone that's still there that's a micromanager. Hold on, I'm not going to get too nasty. I'm done with that. But change. I was always looking for some change. We still need change on the school committee, because now with Danielle, at least that will wake the school committee up. To me, it's been sleeping.
Bobby, the change is coming. It's here. This last election just opened it up. I mean, you look what's going on in the city. I call it gentrification. It's nothing more than that. And there's a new wave of Lowellians coming, and they're going to get more involved.
Yeah. Well,
What are they called?
I mean, if you live in Lowell,
What are they called?
Lowellians?
Llewellyans.
Lowellians.
Llewellyans.
Lowellians.
Two words. Low.
How about just Lowell?
let me just get back.
Back to Bobby.
Let me get back to it, please, and I'll pass it to Marty because I want to hear some things he has to say. But don't forget the school budget is around $250 million, something like that.
We'll blow it.
Could be $270 million.
We'll blow it. We'll hire a lot of Tommy's friends.
And the issue over the years, in my opinion, the biggest issue is it's called maintenance of effort. There's only a few people that knew everything about that because it's what you're charging to plow this and what they're charging us. And we're basically, to me, I always said we're renting these buildings. The school department's renting them. And it was tough. It's a tough issue to talk about. If you bring it up, city manager's getting rid of you. I've seen it happen to Kafawi. So it's just the way things are. But this new girl, Danielle McFadden, and I don't know her. I just followed her basically the last year and a half, 2 years. Amazing. I think amazing things are going to come too. So I'm pretty happy. And I wasn't happy about Eric finishing second, Marty, okay? But that's the issue I really want to try to figure out. How does a kid like him, how does a gentleman like him come in second? If you watched the city in the past 2 years, you were a councilor, you'd have to say he's done more work than anybody and didn't get paid for it. Now, I don't know how you feel, but that's how I feel.
Well, you're right. I don't see a lot of change, first of all, because the same people coming in are backed by the same people. Okay? So when you look at Lowell, you have the same people backing candidates all the time.
Can you drag that mic a little closer to you?
So you have the same candidates coming in, being backed by the same people all the time. So the only thing that changes is the city managers when these things happen. I think what happened with Eric, Vesna Noon ran a great campaign, and he's got a pretty big organization behind him. And it wasn't just to get the vote out for Vesna, but they're looking to change, I think, socially some things. You saw it come before the council last year, and there was a big push to get Marcos Candido in. And I think he was riding the Vesna coattails, yeah. That's exactly what he was doing. And unfortunately, Cisco got caught up in that. And but I think there was a big push in the Highlands. And, 2 years ago, Corey Belanger beat Vesna Noon by, I think, 7 votes in Belvedere. And he went up to the Highlands and just got, and Corey's from the Highlands originally, and he just got beat bad. Vesna has a big, big organization. Well, what's going to be surprising is in the state senate race, because Rodney Elliott has a lot of support within the Cambodian community. They were going to have a fundraiser for him. I guess Rodney wants to put the money now towards this thing with Cambodia going on. But it's going to be interesting. But that's really what happened to Eric. I think that big push, and it's been around a couple of years to make Vesna the mayor, top the ticket, which he did again. So to me, that's all it is.
And when Bobby talks about, Eric not topping the ticket, but the only ones that remember that stuff was political junkies like us. Nobody's going to, you ask the average person, they'll just know he won, but they're not going to, they don't know.
Yeah,
the ones that follow that stuff was like
when
us.
you're campaignning and you're working with Eric, to try to get more votes, you don't want to hear that type of talk. It's
I've been
always
hanging around with politicals for the last 30 years. There's certain stuff they're never going to forget.
No.
And they'll sit there and they'll go like, I don't talk to him. Why? Well, I was running for this and he didn't vote for me. He wouldn't even sign my papers.
Yeah.
He wouldn't. I talked to a guy the other day and he was brokenhearted, defriending one of his friends because he wouldn't sign his papers. And they're like, what a fool. On both sides of the issue. First, a guy who doesn't know what signing the papers really means.
Right.
A free America. That's all. You're not electing anybody.
No.
And page 2, the fool who wouldn't sign the papers. It's just crazy.
I was trying to, Tom, I was trying to stay off Trump. I'd love to talk about him all day long. How much I still like him.
Yeah.
And for what reasons, but I'd rather keep it local. That's why I started off that way, because I always felt the schools, come on, and it's because I worked with guys like Bill Topia, George Cooler Harris, Timmy Golden, Kay Stockloser, those older type people.
Like us.
Like us. But
not like
you,
me.
you walk away.
Don't laugh too long.
You walk away feeling that, boy, I got to advocate for children really bad. That's all I can talk about if I want to get elected. So I jumped in and I kept running on teachers are underpaid. I said that more than anybody. They're underpaid. Over the years. This is, 25 years ago. And now it's paras and kitchen help that are underpaid. But that's all I ever fought for, really. Yeah. And to me, you're not advocating for children, Bob. You're advocating for staff. Listen, the happier your staff is, the better job you're going to get.
Right.
Absolutely right.
So that was my attitude. And when we're on this show, don't think this new one, Daniel McFadden, won't listen to our ideas. I learned so much off like Marty, him, and I look at Marty and I say, boy, how did he not get elected? I could never figure that out, and we won't get into that. But I say, no, I'm just saying is, how does a guy like him get beat? Now, in district-wise, the old days, he'd won like a champ in our district, but our district is different. It's gone.
Mm-hmm.
And what in Lawrence Street and Watson, what is that, District 4 maybe?
Yeah, I would say that.
Is it?
Kim Scott. Kim
Yeah.
Scott,
Kim
5.
Scott.
Yeah.
Oh, Kim Scott, not
No, he
McDonough?
doesn't. Kim comes down that far.
Kim's really good, really good.
Kim's done a great job down there, and
Kim came
everywhere.
out this week for Kim committed herself to Danny Rourke for mayor this week. I don't know if you guys heard that.
Yeah, she did last time too.
Yeah.
He's got 5 votes, so we'll see what happens a week from next Monday, I guess. So
What do you think is going to happen, Cisco?
Ooh,
mayor's race?
I mean, I told you I think Danny would be a great mayor and continue what we're going with. We took a big gamble on this front runner city, so let's see if we can get something out of it. And my interest is what's best for Lowell. So based on what's going on politically right now, I think Danny would be a good choice. But I have no problem sitting back and giving that decision to the councilors that we elected and let them make that decision and hope that they consider everything. They're going to be more in tune on what's going on behind the curtains here in the city. So hopefully we get the best mayor that's going to bring the city forward. I am concerned with the gentrification of the city. I think that's going to push out a lot of the people that don't make much money in the city. There's no other word for it. It's coming. It's happening.
Define
in
what
all
you mean
these-
by gentrification.
Gentrification is the change of the community. It becoming more wealthier and pushing out the old neighborhood out. Just because we're the next city closest to Boston that has land and has rents that people can afford that are making decent money. And if you're not one of those folks that are making a 6-figure income, you're probably not going to be able to afford to live in Lowell the way things are going. They're talking about more affordable, not affordable, market rate housing. Market rate today is crazy. I mean, you can't build anything for under $300,000, and that's 800 square feet. What do you guys think? It's coming. It's here. And where we put the melting pot that I grew up is going to be, Geneva. Look at the income to live in Geneva. So it's coming. It's good if you own property because it's going to bring up the value. But the other concern I have is where these people work, and we don't have any jobs. Every time you turn around, there's a business closing down. And a good example of gentrification is Haverhill. They're trying to squeeze out Dunkin' Donuts. A small local company, because of the smell of donuts. When you got that much money that you're concerned about smelling sugar in the air.
See, Dunkin' Donuts closed downtown this past weekend. Another business that closed.
Really?
Yeah, the corner of Merrimack and Central. That closed on Saturday.
Oh wow! See,
Yeah, that's gone.
that's what's.
Wow.
Yeah.
Those are the signs that people are not picking up.
Yeah.
It's scary.
Yeah.
That's closed before. I think it's a tax thing. I think they closed the last month of the year for taxes. That's just. Did they take the sign off the building?
Yeah,
Tom?
they were dismantling yesterday when I walked by, taking everything out, and they had a
Did the
truck.
sign come off the building?
I didn't notice, John. What does that have to do with anything?
Well, if it's a tax write-off, you need to get rid of all your property in December. So
The
December
sign
30th.
said closed permanently. That's what it said.
I didn't hear that part of your story,
Yeah,
Tom.
yeah.
I apologize. So
Yeah.
it seems they are closed permanently. Sorry.
In the past month or so, I've been following high school football. Lowell High only lost one game, I believe. That's the best record they've had in a lot of years.
Yeah.
In Tewksbury, I've been following them a little bit, and their hockey. It's incredible for a town the size of them. They played in the Super Bowl. They lost, I believe it was Situate. What a game. 40 points. Both teams had like 41 points over. Now we got the Patriots winning the other day, huh? That's pretty positive stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
I thought they were going to lose. I'm not going to lie to you.
They were down 11 points in the fourth, I saw.
Well, they're hot and cold. That's another.
Oh, that
just-
quarterback is
yeah.
something. He's for real. He's for
Yeah.
real.
What's he worth?
I don't know.
I
I don't know.
He's praying for that new contract.
Oh, if I was him,
He's
I'd
not looking to get hurt right now.
stop running. Stop
They play the
running.
Jets this week. That won't be a test. It won't be an upset, I'm sure, but They're in New York, I think, or are they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Jets are terrible. Their next two opponents are terrible, Miami and so. But that happened a couple of years ago. They had
You never know.
They had a first round bye locked up. They went down to Miami and got beat on
Yeah.
that weird play at the
Remember
end.
that? Yeah.
And then they went in. I think they lost to Tennessee in the first round. So
You know, I look at this panel and I look at John, and there's not really one of us that we live in Lowell. Tom's from Lowell. He just over the years politics
Right.
took him to Drake, but we all live in Lowell, and I can speak for myself. I'm not going anywhere. I really I dig this city. I really dig it. Our high school, 3,200 children in one building. This is the thing I fought for my whole life. You got about 1,000 kids in there that need to get into a vocational training. About 1,000, easy, out of the 3,200, maybe a little more. But they're doing great things on that. They have the After Dark program and sending kids up at the Voc at nighttime to learn some trades, which is the stuff. That's what we need more of. That's going to happen at the high school. I tried to do it when I was on the school committee, but Fred Bahu has been really bragging about it, so good for you, Fred. They didn't want nothing to do with it. When I was on the school committee, I wanted to put a master electrician and a master plumber right in the high school and let him teach the kids, because he's got to fix things all the time. You know, it's not like a prison. Like in the prison, you got to worry about them flushing mattresses down the toilet. You know, they flush everything. But children don't do that much damage to toilets.
did you see the paper this week?
No.
They want to take life without parole in Massachusetts and give it 25 years. You're eligible. So even if you're right now, if you're under 20, you get a free ride. You get life without parole. And they're letting they let out 42 rapists and second-degree murderers and first-degree
Where is the
murderers.
coverage? They're getting no lawyers. They're letting everybody walk.
It's the parole board. You know, they come up with these things, John, and it was funny. I read this article the other day about how they're going to look into the study, and they said, well, you can give them an opportunity for parole after 25 years, but it doesn't mean they're going to get it. Well, that's the last thing they said with the parole board. And last year, past 2 years, 42 people have walked out. And that kid out in Townsend, who raped and murdered the woman and drowned her kids, he's out. Some of the most heinous crimes in Massachusetts committed by people under 20, and they're walking out the door with the parole board.
Like we driving a school bus.
Yeah, and I asked one of the state reps. I said, "You guys going to do anything about this?" "Oh, that's the parole board. We can't do anything about that."
You know,
Well, when the
Defund them.
What's that?
Defund them.
Go up to the governor and say, "What the heck are you putting in?" But now I just want to bring that because Bobby brought up the prisons, and I'm reading a book now, the Boston Mob, and the McLaughlin Winter Hill gang war down there in Boston. But these people are going to prison, and in 25 years they're going to let them out. Because by that time, half the family who got killed has probably passed away. No one remembers the stories, and the parole board will let them walk because their advocates push for it. So go ahead.
yeah, but no, when you get 25 years in behind the walls in prison, between 25 years and 35 years, very few inmates are going to make it through that normal. Just the tough ones, the real tough ones, lifting weights and they can handle themselves, might make it through. But there's a large group that are going to be turned into basically animals.
Yeah.
That's really all you're dealing
Now they're going
with.
to be back on the street.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
love it
no
when it goes
doubt.
before the parole board. Well, they had a drinking of a drug problem. They haven't taken drugs in 10 years. Well, they've been in prison for 20. 15. What do you want? You know? And you just look at some of the things they come up with. But, I knew you were a prison guard. And when you brought up the prisons, people don't catch this. And there's every Monday that's in the Lowell Sun, they have what's going on down the State House. So we'll see if that bill comes before the House.
I got one for Jeff Thomas, if he's out there listening. And normally we can get Jeff Thomas to respond. 1970s, late 70s, local 429. That's who the prison guards had as their local. 429, Jeff. That's when we got some big pensions for the stadies, nice pensions. We got kind of ripped off a little bit for the correction officers. I call them prison guards. But the guy sitting next to you, Marty's a retired cop, Lowell cop.
I was a mailman.
Mailman.
Yeah, I know.
I'm the policeman.
I know.
Yeah, they retired 29 years. It is shameful because there are folks out there. Unfortunately, we're not all built the same, and we have some people that have some real mental issue problems, and we have a group of people that really think they're going to turn these people around, and they're just putting other people in danger, unfortunately, and I've seen it, and just you try, but there's some folks you just can't change who they are.
Yeah, but you come from to me, this is a great opinion show, by the way. The Lowell Police over the years, man, I can go way back, that this is a tremendous police department. I mean, tremendous. And when the majority of them in the union, let's say, because I had my own union, when the majority of the people in the union are your main core inside that department, you got a good one. You're going to have 20, 30% that should be kicked out, just like in a prison. But the ones that do the majority of the work and not complaining, they hold it together. And Lowell's personalities over the years, I've had some good times. I don't want to get into those stories. But, no, Lowell has a great force, really. Firemen, I want to tell you guys this. You think this is funny, but this is how I'm operating right now because I'm bored. I was at Stadium Plaza, the only market basket I use. Tom Bomil's from Bridge Street Market Basket. But I've been in there quite a bit, doing my shopping, and I see the firemen every lunchtime coming in, about 3 of them, plugging through it, all their uniforms on and everything, to pick out their lunch. Why? Cheap sandwich. Really? No, but I said to them, hey, excuse me, you Lowell firemen? And I look at the patch they were. I said, I want to thank you for saving my life. Appreciate it. Tell the boys and girls thank you. Because things like that, you don't really realize it until you have it, until you need it. But those guys, you could tell, we got some good firemen too.
I
Good police.
was in Demoulas's one day up on Route 38, Tewksbury, Stadium Plaza,
Yeah,
and the little firefighters were there. They would come in to get their lunch,
right.
and one of the people in the store was on the city council, came over to me and said, "What are they doing here?"
Hey, Marty, that mic is off.
Yeah, it's not
So can you grab the one that's in the center there?
this one here.
Put this one on the side. I got it.
I'll get that one off of Bobby. Should be all better.
So the person asked me, "What are they doing here?" And I said, "I don't know, probably getting their lunch." "Well, this is Tewksbury. What's Lowell?" And I just kind of said, give me a break.
Yeah.
I walked away. That's how you lose a vote, if they even lived in Lowell.
Yeah.
But it's disgusting. And I just said, I just walked away from the person. I just said, "You got to be kidding me."
In
They were complaining because the firemen were shopping at the Tewksbury Market Basket. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. And, they had the truck out there. They're going for their lunch. They get their sandwiches and stuff,
Well, they do their shopping there, too, for their kitchens, I know, because they
Yeah.
didn't drink it. I see them,
Sure. But no, people are funny. They'll complain about the Lowell police were great. When I was a mailman, cell phones came out, and I always, well, of course I knew the police officers. We would exchange cell phone numbers. So if I saw something, I didn't have to call the station all the time. I could call them, and they were always right there, and they would come by. And I know they grabbed a couple of people. I think they came down and checked, and they would call into the station, and a couple of suspicious people. One kid up in Belvedere, he was going up the street, ringing a bell, and while he was waiting, he was peeping in the windows. So he came off the stairs, and I'm delivering mail, so I said, "Hey, how you doing?" We get talking, and so I called the office, and he wasn't in, so I called the station. They said, "Don't go near him." I said, "Oh, we're well beyond that point." He's he's like 5'11", the description, the coat, and the police came down and grabbed him, and, "What are you doing?" He said, "I'm looking for work." I think they cuffed him and put him in the car.
Mm.
And they said, "Did you see the car?" At that time, they caught another kid I had seen up in Belvedere. They were coming in from another town, and they would break into a house and stash everything, and they would come back for it, and the next day or whatever. But people said, "No, you don't, why are you doing that? You get in trouble." I says, "They're like family. You're mailman on the route for so many years. You know the people. You know who's supposed to be there, who's not.
Yeah.
And you see some kid ringing bells, peeping in windows. I'm calling. I don't really care, And but the police in Lowell, to the point, have always been good to me, and I know the other mailmen.
Yeah.
We never get caught up in that stuff like the cops. People just the mailmen are fed. So we never really get into that in the newspapers about mailmen and stuff like that. It was always grateful.
Yeah, that's why that was one of my big issues going when I run for city council the first time. There's no programs really for a policeman or a fireman, or I don't care who you are, when you have a drinking problem, let's say, alcohol. And if you're a good sergeant, and this is why I always talk about sergeants, to me the most important part of any sergeant's job is to keep your staff under control so they don't get hurt. That's all. Number one.
The lights on in the front.
But that's what happens in those positions. Sometimes you'll get somebody that doesn't know how to operate, And to me, it's all about who my sergeant is. I loved a couple of sergeants in my career, for sure. But I know I left a legacy there. How's that? Just mention my name. They know me. I used to say to inmates, all of them, the only difference between you and me is I never got caught. You get caught. How old are you? You're 40. How long you been in jail? Oh, only 22 years. I mean, what? It's really a sad state of everything. We don't straighten anything out. I'm telling you, we don't do that. They just keep coming back. They got nowhere to go. They've been living in your prisons for 20-something years, and then where do you think they're going to go? The streets are low. Streets of all over the place. That's why getting back to local stuff, don't mind me today, but when I seen Cisco pull in with his truck, I
Say it
said,
again? Jesus, girl.
no, I said it's beautiful. I can get into him too, his mind, because I feel this way, right? Lowell High School, don't forget what I keep talking about. You got to look at the breakdown of our school. Don't look at the test scores. You kidding me? Test scores can wait a while. There's many more things we got to fix before we worry about test scores. What works for Lowell High School is like an ROTC. Just the children that enter that, it keeps them busy. But when you look at our high school, the breakdown of it, Cisco, is over 50%. They always say Hispanic.
No.
Listen, let me finish because I'll forget what I want to say to you. It's over 50%, and they like to say Hispanic. I like to say Puerto Rican. That's who I grew up with. I grew up as Shaughnessy, and I've been around Lowell my whole life.
What do you do with the Brazilian?
And now that's a different story. But I'm talking about the old timers like us, where we came from. And I know everyone can remember this. If you did something serious, you were going to get punished. You were going to get punished. I know Marty's dad would punish him, and my dad would punish me.
My uncle was down the court right there.
No, but I have a grandson living with me. He came from Townsend, where it's all beautifully white. And then he moved into Lowell with me because he was having issues out there. And when he talks to me about Lowell High School, he says to me, Papa, you know what I love about Lowell High School? I goes, what? He goes, we're all the same. With the kids, the students, we're all the same. I like this school, And then other people are afraid of the school because of the test grades, and, they'd want the vote. Who wouldn't? Want their kid in the vote over Lowell High. I don't blame them. But if your kids are smart, I'm telling you, if they're coming out of Immaculate, listen to me, grandpas. If they're coming out of the Immaculate, they can go to Lowell High School and take high honors, okay, or AP courses if they're that smart, and they can maybe go to Harvard, maybe go to MIT, UMass Amherst, Eisenberg School of Business, yay, Hoey's. You know, we got a couple of them making some good money. But that's what I love about Lowell. I love about Lowell. I'd have 4 cups around Lowell High School every day. Not in it. I don't want no cup to have an office on the second floor. I want 4 cups, one over near the clock, couple maybe Lucy Larkham area, with a dog. Have a nice German Shepherd. They're beautiful. And just make the kids feel safe, because the more news they see in the world, they're going to start to worry. You know, who wouldn't? But Lowell, I'm telling you, we're lucky. We are lucky, honestly. Yeah, and I see them all the time. I offer them, want me to get your coffee? Nope. My wife says, you're just trying to stay out of trouble so you don't get a ticket. You know, no, that's not why I do it. I had uncles, Jack Newell, Dennis Newell, Gary Newell, all Lowell cops, you know. Billy Hoey, you might think he was a cop, but he wasn't. You know, that's just a personal joke. It's the way it is. And Lowell's a tough city. We had a lot of inmates from Lowell. You know, I can't even mention their names. I wouldn't because of their families, but we had some serious things happen in Lowell over the years.
Let me ask
Go ahead,
you,
buddy.
I know you mentioned the Puerto Ricans. I went out this weekend with some of the fundraising and community events of giving low-income folks some gifts and stuff for their kids, and I noticed that it's turning over. A lot of the Hispanics that I've seen out looking for assistance were mostly from South America, some of those countries coming out. So I think that Hispanic group is changing. I think you're gonna see that in the next group of folks here settling in Lowell. My concern is with the development in the city. A lot of these apartments are small apartments. They're not geared for family. You think the schools are gonna get more funding or less funding when you get a group of people moving in that are more working, young, Gen Z people that don't think of having kids? Those decisions are going to be brought back to the voters, and who's going to be making those decisions? And you think you're going to have decisions that are going to hurt the poor and down the road, especially in the education, which is going to go up in cost, is going to demand more money from government. And are people going to be willing to pay more taxes if they don't have kids in school?
We're going to have to pay more taxes anyways, you know, for a couple more
They'll
years.
find someplace else to blow it on.
Yeah, well,
You
where
know
else?
Tom Golden, for crying out loud.
There's a good thing. Where else can we find money?
I mean, you
Stop
mentioned-
spending
The
it.
city. No, I'm talking about the city. How can the city
Stop spending the money.
stop spending? I know
Stop spending it.
that's a good one,
I'm
John.
with John.
Okay.
They're going to cut back. You don't got no money coming in.
We got the guy in charge of all the copper wire in Lowell. He's going to retire. He makes $200,000 a year. There's a line out the door. Okay, what does the guy do? He makes $200,000 a year. No. What does he do? I told you he makes $200,000 a year, and I want his job. It's not about what you do; it's how much you make. And the city of Lowell City Council has got to look at the city manager and say, "Hey, every job has got to get reviewed and okayed by the council. We got too many people employed in the city of Lowell that make over $100,000, and we're a poor city. Oh, we're not poor, really. Look at the income.
I would say it was higher than that. 20 people? I would say there's probably a lot more than that making $100,000 in the city. Just my guess.
I meant to say plenty who make over $200,000.
Oh,
Yeah.
Plenty
yeah.
who make over $100,000.
yeah, a lot of prices and the salaries have gone up over the years. And I look at what mailmen make now, and it's not the same job I had, but I just shake my head what their final salary is. But
I liked when they followed you.
Oh,
You know, the
See
timing.
how many feet
Yeah.
you're walking every day. Yeah, it's things they're never easy working for you in the government, in any form. State government, it's never easy. I couldn't do 32 years. I only did 20. I had enough, and I just said bye.
Yeah, but we need the government. We need some of those jobs.
You're right.
We need better turnover in these jobs. I mean, I really believe that you got to have limits, just like term limits. You got to have some limits on the government job so we have turnover for the next generation. I mean, you have people making a lot of money filling a position because there's not much requirement. Like John mentioned, what are they doing? You know, there has to be more demand on folks that work for the government, and you gotta move people along. You gotta give opportunities to the next generation, because if not, you're gonna have a revolution of young and old, and it's coming. You can see it now.
the state police had that lawsuit a couple of years ago, didn't they? The younger state troopers filed suit against the older ones because they had all the jobs. And so you get an office job at 50 or 55, and you're not leaving. Well, they want these jobs. And they either filed suit or they filed grievances trying to get that maximum age out or lowered.
Yeah. I mean, and that's what the Gen Z, they're coming in at 25 and saying, hey, I want to be the boss. I want to be in charge.
Well, that's today's generation comes in and asks, when's my first day off? When's my first vacation? What kind of bonuses do I get? Mr. Bomil, got 4 or 5 checks here.
The city will always have money coming in. It's called your pocket. That's why a pair of pants have 4 of them. We also grew up with big families, not one household children. We had to be accountable. It was a dogfight back in the day. This year, Greater Oak has a student who was accepted to Harvard.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
That's merit gets you.
They're going to be a change next
It's the
year.
same one, Tommy?
Good morning. The logic of the state is close. The prisons are open up weed shops. The government, especially in this state, is corrupted and do not care.
Well, you know, they always say, well, crime's down in the state, and the prisons, the prisons, you're letting them out. And the other thing with the governor now is they won't pay the attorneys to represent the people at the courthouse. So now...
Public defenders, they're
Public
the
defenders.
best.
And so the police are making the arrest, they go in there, they don't have an attorney, they get a continuance, they come back, I still don't have a continuance, and they're walking. And this is the governor, and the government we have in Massachusetts, they won't pay the public defenders. It's a disgrace. And then they say, well, crime's down. Crime's down. Crime's down the corner down here, you know, because you're letting them out. So, good luck.
Yeah, that's why I talk about my sister's program, Project Compass, all the time next to Hafner's gas station on Appleton. They're doing wonders, passing out meals for people to eat ham. I think their things are not turkeys, but gifts for kids, everything. My wife volunteered yesterday. A lot of places. Coalition A Better Acre, I mean, right across the city. But I want to give Cisco another one. How come the North Common, that housing project, don't have anybody sleeping around in it? No homeless sleeping around that neighborhood. I can tell you why, but I want to hear what you think.
And I grew up close to that. I lived in a 3-family apartment that housing took over next to the Mercia Center there for some time. And those folks take care of their own problem. So if they're homeless and they're related to someone that lives in the projects, they're not sleeping on the street. They're probably sleeping in someone's living room. And it's accountability. They go out there and they make sure those folks, if they're a problem to that neighborhood, they're no
See you
longer in
later.
the neighborhood. So the other thing is, a lot of the homeless in the city aren't from the city. So, you know, we've taken care of our own. As being a poor person that grew up in the projects, we didn't leave our needies out on the street. We brought our family in. So I think that's what you see over at North Common, is the folks there that have folks that in need of help, they're helping those people. I mean, that's it. And there's a lot of the folks down there, they're actually out working and hustling too. They know that, you just can't sit around and survive without working or doing something to make some money.
Yeah, so it's what makes the city unique. Not everybody leaves, though. Like I said before, people tell me, "Oh, move to Florida, move to Florida." I don't think so. I'm staying right here.
Well, when you move to Florida, you got to downsize severely.
Yeah,
Those old sneakers you only wear for gardening
yeah, we got a
ain't
lot
going.
of stuff. Yeah,
There's
I
you
hear
got a
you.
lot of stuff is right.
Yeah.
I still see a lot of people I grew up with, they're living now down around Georgetown, or Newburyport, Northampton. Excuse me. They all want to go down towards the beach and when they've retired. And those homes are being sold to what Felix was saying, people coming in from greater Boston. And it's a changing city.
What was the
Yeah.
city, Marty?
Which one?
The one you were mentioned. That's
They moved to?
no, yeah.
Georgetown,
Georgetown.
Newburyport.
Okay, yeah.
Down
Yeah,
around the beach.
I mean, yeah. Well, think of Plum Island.
Yeah.
Imagine back in the day, nobody wanted to live on Plum Island. When I was a teenager fishing with my dad out there, every weekend, I mostly went not so much for the fishing, was the stop at McDonough's on the way back. So I knew if I went and kept them company, I would get a cheeseburger out of the deal. So, but there was so much of those little cottages that were for sale that nobody was really interested in. Look at that now. It's like, ooh, you can't move in there unless you're a millionaire.
I went down there fishing this year, deep sea. Over after 62 in Massachusetts, you're licensed for nothing. So I started fishing down at Plum Island. But there's a bait shop as soon as you cross the bridge and you go in.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was George
Surfing.
Bossy in a lot of the pictures down there. George is a fanatic fisherman, And I think it was his pictures I could see up on the wall.
Yeah, Surfland on Kate was on the original on one of the girl that used to work there, and she passed away. Her daughter Martha, who worked at high school, Lowell High School, was with the kids that need assistance. She did a great job with those kids, and then her mom passed away. Now she's running the shop up there. So,
Very nice.
Moulton is, I think, the family name. They're very well known up there, and they're either in the bait shop business or the boating business. They have docks they run, or some of the marinas, like Riverfront is part of that family. So it's just like Lowell. You got generations upon generations that settle in, that just take over after their parents pass on.
You guys all know that I always talked about Eric Itcher for the past couple of years. I don't think I talked about. My wife used to say, "What are you crazy for him or what?" I goes, "No, I think he's doing his job. Compared to other people, he's doing his job. That's all."
Who's that?
Eric Itcher.
Yeah,
I know he's listening to him. Early on on the show here, we were talking about the mayor situation, and I forgot to say what I get out of Eric is there could be a surprise. That's all.
So,
That's what he's leaving me with, and I like that. I like surprises.
so Bobby, you
Well, that'd be a
mentioned.
big surprise if Rourke has 5 votes.
Yeah, I know.
It'd have to be a big
I
one
know,
because
I know.
that's 5.
But you got to have 6, right?
You have to have
I think
six, yeah.
McDonough's the 6th.
Yeah.
I'll predict that today.
But
Yeah,
you
six.
mentioned
I don't
you
know.
mentioned your disappointment with the votes for Gittier.
Yeah.
What I think happened was he took a stand on a couple strong items here in the city. One, the ejection sites, and I'm with him on that. And the other one with the homeless, accountability for the homeless. And you have a group of people moving into the city that think accountability isn't a big thing, and that people should have second chances. Not second; these are like hundreds of chances to do things right. And there are still people that really think that giving folks something for nothing is the way to go. And I just don't think Eric's one of those person.
I think Eric,
He's more like, hey, if you work hard, you'll get ahead, and if you contribute, you're gonna help, and you're gonna get better.
he told me, it was me complaining how he come in second. I can't believe it as a person watching what goes on. But he said to me, he says, it's simple to see, Bob. He says, there's a lot of people that don't want me here either. Because he's a thorn in their side, basically, And that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
wants to cut the job of the copper wire inspector.
Yeah. copper
That's
wire.
part of the problem.
Well, in the prison.
He's
There is
the
no
only-
Let me
such
say
person,
this.
Bob.
What
There
you
is no such person. I made that person up.
Oh, okay,
But there are
because
people out there making hundreds of thousands of dollars that cannot give you their job description.
you know all these prisons across the country? You have an officer that works in there, and he's in charge of all the gold and silver of all the inmates that come in that prison. Okay? Think of that job. You got to have someone that's going to do it right, because they could be stealing constantly.
Accountability.
Constantly. Oh, unbelievable. Listen, in a prison, I can only say this. You leave a slice of bread on a table, it's gone in a second. Gone. And it ain't the inmates, it's the officers that are taking it. We're worse. We really are. We're worse than the inmates.
Well, the problem is when they post these, I'm sure they have to post every position that becomes available, even if you know
Yeah.
somebody. But no matter what, and I'm not going to say names, but people that have got jobs in the city, I'm sure the job it was posted, but that person was getting a job no matter what.
Right.
And Eric's the only guy, the only one that I've ever seen question anything as far as jobs, budget things, but the other 10 don't, Sometimes Corey will, but I think.
My favorite teacher right now could be hitting 500 sick days. Not hours. Days. That's pretty nice, huh?
He'll give to cash that in.
Yeah. He's
They only buy 1/3.
whatever.
Holy cow.
He's been in there.
That's my take. Cisco, what's your take?
Each contract's a little different, but there is a payout for some of the money. But those
For a cop,
Big-
how many sick days do they buy?
I think at this point we're 4-1 is the turnover on your sick time. But they
So you lose 25% of your sick days?
yeah, but a lot of the senior officers, one of the contracts was they got bought out on some of the exchange. So the exchange changes a little because I think some of the new officers now cannot sell any sick time, and it's completely wiped off the books. But that will turn over with the next group of.
Can you still give your sick days away?
They cannot give them out.
I thought if somebody had a sick,
There's
yeah,
not
is it
in not
no
in
bank?
the Lowell Police Department, not in
Wow.
that contract. Other contracts, yes. They've
understood.
My contract, I got 20 cents on the dollar for my sick time. And I looked at that and I said, well, teachers are getting 33 1/3% on their sick time. You say, wow, I deserve more. Well, I got more. Because when I left there, I was minus 9 hours, so they take that off your pension. They take that money right off your pension. I was minus, and listen, it's called sick time abuse. I've been chastised for it, but nothing to hurt me.
Well, I'm proud to say when I worked in Draco, we had a personal bylaw. It's since changed.
Hey, Eric, you want
When
to
I
talk?
left Draco, when I retired, it was you got a week's
Hang on.
pay. You got a week's
Merry
pay.
Christmas, Eric. Hang on one second.
I'll
This is
tell the story later.
Hey, this is all right.
the contracts have changed because the
But I didn't have a contract. I was under a personal
Oh,
bylaw.
okay.
Because we didn't have. Department heads weren't union in Draco. But
That's dead.
I'll tell that story later.
Just say good morning to Eric.
Good morning, Eric.
Good morning. Merry Christmas, everyone.
Merry
Merry
Eric.
Christmas, buddy.
I just wanted to call in and say a couple things about government. When you look at government, we talk sick leave and vacation time and personal time and holiday pay and floating holidays. When do people work? Think about that. How many days off government gets? You have to hire employees to cover for the employees that get these benefits. And at some point, when you look at the OPEB, which is the other post-employment benefits, which they have to pay, we're at $1 billion in upside down debt. So when you start looking at these things, someone better start questioning, because, Lowell has a history. And if you guys, and many of you on that board right there today, understand what happened to Lowell in the 70s, you do not want to go back that direction. And hiring people comes with liabilities of retirement funds. And like Cisco is saying, when you look at sick time buybacks, and then in addition to that, people get let go before holidays early and these things. When is it going to be that you hold people accountable?
Yeah.
Well, I know in Drake, we have a new town manager, Eric, and she's come up with some really good ideas. She's changed things around. I was just going to tell the story. When I retired 10 years ago, I never abused my sick leave, never. And I in our personnel bylaw, it stated that when I retired, and that has since changed because this new managers came up with some more ideas, but that I would get a week's pay for every year of service on my sick time. When I retired, I had 52 weeks of sick leave because I never abused it, and I got that as my buyout. But that's all gone now. They've taken that away. It's probably, like you say, a percentage of it. They have changed the hours in Drake as far as operation, but you're right, accountability. And this new town manager has hit the ground running as far as changing things around. A lot of people don't like it because she's changed things around, but she has the backing of the selectmen, which most of the selectmen, and so.
I always looked at sick.
But at the end of the day, Tom, right, when you think about it, you and every employee gets the same benefit, whether you're a productive employee or not. There's no performance evaluations because of the way it's all set up.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, does the taxpayer, does the resident get their just due for what they're paying for? And I've been in this for 37 years. There's not a person on that council or in the room that's been there longer than I have. I've watched it from three different municipalities in a school system.
Yeah.
And when you watch it, some people will take advantage of the system the whole way. And it's not about anything other than how can they just get to the next day and get as much of a benefit as they can. Yeah. And at the end of the day, no business would survive on the same strategies as government. None.
Yeah. No, you're absolutely right.
The one thing that government has that they need to hold people more accountable is they have decent pensions, and there's not much of that being offered in the regular jobs out there. So I think as a bargain too, that's something that management needs to bring to the table and say, look, if you're not working, you're not going to be eligible for a pension. And
well,
also,
Cisco, if you remember, in 2012 they changed that. So if you're pre-2012, you have still a good retirement system. But after 2012, basically they set it up the same way as Social Security.
Okay, yeah.
Except you don't get the Social Security raise. Think about that. Look at the retirement system and the policies they put in place for people who started after 2012. So there's a major difference between the two. There's a push and pull.
Yeah.
When I was a kid graduating from the vocational school, the push was to go to work in the industry. Wang, Raytheon, Courier. Show me that today. It has flopped in our city, where now people want to work for government.
Yes, I
and
agree.
That's a major problem. We don't have industry for people to go to work to. And without the Link project, we don't have any horizon to get that to that point.
Eric, I think that's the problem in the city the past 20 years or so. There are no jobs. Wang left, Courier Citizen left, Jackson Street, bottom of Crosby. There are no more jobs in the city. Your largest employers are all nonprofits. Lowell General, UMass Lowell, Middlesex, probably CTI. There's very few businesses here, and Cisco mentioned it earlier. I don't know what's going to happen with the Hamilton Canal, but those were always, a lot of those were not only skilled jobs, but unskilled labor. So we always talk about Lowell being a city for immigrants. those type of jobs, unskilled labor, were huge, and I don't know if that's ever coming back to the city.
That's why I pushed for the Lapoli parcel down in the Hamilton Canal District to remain the way it was. We had a plan. We went away from the plan for the easy way out of putting shovels in the ground, which is totally ridiculous when you think about that. And at the end of the day, Massachusetts is a state that's pushing businesses out, and they're going to the Carolinas. They're going down south because we're overtaxing. And even when we don't tax, we give out tips and ties that are not in the benefit of the residents.
The state of New Hampshire just had I think a job fair down at the State House in Massachusetts, because 2 or 3 companies just left Mass to go to New Hampshire, and they were down the State House.
Remember, Marty, New Hampshire's smoke and mirrors. You know, they push and pull the same way as Massachusetts.
Oh, they do.
But everybody's leaving the Northeast and going down to the Carolinas in that area. No one's coming to New Hampshire. You know, yeah, they took one away from Massachusetts. Okay, you're still fighting for the same person. Every day, if you sit on Route 3, people are driving from New Hampshire to Massachusetts.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so, Eric, John McDonough is asking who's the mayor? Who's the next mayor?
Tell him.
Him.
Mayor McDonough.
Mayor McDonough.
Is he running for the job?
Listen,
Is he running for the job?
are you running for the job, he said.
Who wouldn't want to be the mayor?
Yeah.
I mean, you're in an amazing city where you get an opportunity to represent the people and represent the future of the city. Why would you not be?
Hey, let me ask.
Like I said before, if I had the path, I'll take it. It would be an honor, but you got to get the path. You got to get 6 votes.
Yeah, we were sitting here today talking.
Who's his first vote for mayor? And I'm done.
Oh man, he's got one more question. What is it? Who's
your first
vote for mayor?
Eric Gitchie. I'm the 3rd person to vote.
Okay, so listen, let's forget about all that and all the negative things. What's on your mind for the next year? 1 or 2 things that you could tell us that we should feel good about.
My hope is humanity, right, Bob? We're hoping that we can help people get the help they need in the homeless situation and be the pioneer that we have been with the co-op team in offering the services. But as we drain the funds off, that's going to be a bigger challenge than ever.
Now, last thing,
And then
say a few things about baseball coming up. What's going to happen?
you can't be happier for Lowell in the baseball area. Baseball across the country is basically going down because it's becoming more. It was once a skilled sport, but now it's becoming more and more skilled. Where I think the problem is that it's the have and have-nots in the system. So that's a major problem. It's pay to play right now.
Yeah.
If you get the specialized training or you get one look, you take the athlete who has an up at an early age, which doesn't mean you're the best one, and you give them the specialized skill training, which isn't offered to the other athletes that one day will ace them and outgrow them, but they're not given that opportunity.
I haven't been following anything, but where's Zach landing? I know he got a job at Lowell as a coach.
Yeah, Zach is the pitching coach for UMass Lowell and the head coach for Norwich over the summertime. So you'll see him at the last year this summer coaching against the Lowell team.
Do you still play in any leagues?
He did, yeah. He did.
No,
actually play
you. Do you play?
I get to play catch with my son, so that's always the best part of the day for me when we go out and play catch.
Listen,
All winter, all summer, all year long, we get to do that.
make sure you tell her wife we all said Merry Christmas, Happy New Year to you, buddy, and I wish you luck this year.
Merry Christmas, everyone, and thank you for
Good luck,
the
Eric.
wonderful
Merry
year that
Christmas.
you gave us.
All right, pal.
Good
See ya,
luck,
buddy.
Mayor.
Merry Christmas. Yeah.
Thank you. Merry Christmas.
You know what he just mentioned the ballpark coming back. The other day I was sitting at a restaurant and some of the kids they're full 30-year-old adults now, but they mentioned that the ballpark was one of their favorite youth jobs, and they were very appreciative of the fact that it's coming back. And I heard that multiple times throughout the city in the last 6 months.
I got a hold of
in
horses.
conversation.
I got to hold the horses here for a second. We blew through the break. Anybody need to get coffee? Everybody okay
Just
over
gonna
there?
grab
Good.
a coffee, that's it.
Let's take a break now.
I'm good.
Alrighty, we're gonna take a break now. We'll be back.
Oh, the new guy just
When I was
takes right
on
over, John,
council, I
huh?
think we hired
That's all right, we'll bring it back.
Good morning. Welcome to the City Life Show. I'm Bob Hoey, the host today. Marty Lorrey sitting next to me. Cisco Maldonado's next to him. Tom Bomil's next to him. And John McDonough's behind the camera. Eric Gitche just called in on the Dawn Patrol show, and we always appreciate your calls.
And it sounds like he's a candidate for mayor. No matter what you say, he's a candidate for mayor.
Yeah, I took that as, I took that same way, Tom.
And I can see that happening and certain things happen, but yeah, you know,
If Danny doesn't
Well, I
get
had
it on
heard
the
this
first ballot-
candidate for mayor over the week. I said, when I see Eric, I'll ask him.
yeah.
No, I think
Like
if
he
Danny-
said, who wouldn't want, it's an honor. I'm sure
is.
if you were there for a while, Matty, you would have loved to have been the mayor. You know, it was just, it's a great honor.
Marty, you got interrupted. Please proceed.
No, it's just if Danny doesn't
Drag
get it
that
on the
mic to
first,
you.
first ballot, you don't know what's gonna happen after that.
Well, that's why it's who's your first vote.
Yeah,
First ballot vote, because people will change.
they can change if.
But
if
that's
it's a
gonna
dead end.
split things up, because honestly, the left in the city are pushing for Vesa, noon,
Yeah.
and the more conservative are pushing for Gitcher, if this is, what's gonna happen. It's gonna be a fight. It's gonna be quite interesting. I would think they're gonna spend a long time trying to figure who our next mayor is gonna be.
The problem
well,
for Vesna, he's got a big problem. He, it's always perceived that he backs other candidates running. For example, Paul Rathie, Vesna's close with the guy who beat him. And as I said earlier, Marcos, and you probably heard this, he was
Marcos
riding
Gandino. Yeah.
Vesna's coattails. So if you're Johnny Dakota, are you going to support him? Because he tried to take your job away, and he really didn't. But
We got close, to 30 votes.
Right, he came within 30 votes, but still, even if Vesna wasn't out there beating a drum for him, the perception is he tried to take my seat. So you're never going to support him. Probably the same with Corey Robinson. I don't know. Corey will probably support Eric on the first ballot, but this is what goes on. And Kim Scott, they ran a couple of people against Kim for a couple of years, and it failed.
Hey, Tommy, I
And,
want to slide that chair in.
But Marty, he was the only one that voted for ejection sites.
Yeah.
So those other councilors.
Hey, Gary.
Wayne Janess did it. That's right.
Merry
Yeah,
Christmas.
yeah. So I think, was Wayne there for that vote?
Yeah.
He was. So it was, the only vote that wanted to seek more information.
Sorry I left.
But was on Vesta News.
Yeah,
And,
yeah.
and
We're gonna do
that
musical
definitely
chairs.
comes back
Yep.
to,
Tommy, you're moving one to the left.
Yeah.
Cisco, you're moving one to the left. Marty, you're moving one to the left. You're sitting next to Bob. All right.
Oh, I'm moving in the chairs, all right.
Musical chairs.
Oh,
good morning. Oh, look at you
Morning,
brought,
morning.
oh, you're so
look at
lucky.
that.
She got my kind in
Oh,
there.
yeah.
First. Wait till you try
Oh,
the
look
other
at your cookies, Bobby.
one. She took good care of
Oh,
it.
yeah.
Grab one right now.
Oh,
Screw
jeez.
it.
Right up that mic for Caroline.
This one, yes,
We're
sir.
gonna eat live? I love it.
Whose phone is this?
This and,
Oh, mine.
and oh, there's stuff in it? Oh, this is great. Now I'll be here every Tuesday.
Here we go.
Hi, Cameron.
How are you?
Can you get in there, kid?
There you go. Yeah, the mayor's race could swing how the city
Good morning.
socially moves forward.
Yes.
Here we
And
go,
I think
John.
that's what the progressives are looking at with
Karen, what you bring
Vesna.
for food?
I brought lemon blueberry cookies, Bob's favorites, and a double chocolate cookie.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Are we still on City Life, John?
Yeah.
Yes, we are.
All
Yeah.
set?
So Marty,
Well-
I think that the first ballot, Rourke will get a solid 5. The ones that
Oh, yeah, he's got
If
it.
he has, if I'm still hearing McDonough's going to go his way, so it could be over on the first ballot.
Yeah.
It could be over on the first ballot.
I don't know what McDonough's gonna do.
I'm sure that, I'm hearing that, I'm just hearing of some sources from high school that he has more or less told people he's with Rourke. So, but
Well,
that
that-
can
that's
change, as we can see, that can change in a heartbeat.
Putting a lot of heat on the kid.
How long do the fight stay with Rourke, but after the first ballot? 2 ballots, 3 ballots, you know?
Yeah, that's, the past couple of years, it's all
Bobby,
been
hand the napkin.
pretty quick, you know?
No, next door.
A
Napkins.
napkin.
Napkin. Here you go, buddy.
Let me take one.
So, excuse
We need
me
2 over here.
for interrupting, excuse me.
It's all about the food with Hoey. He's never going to.
We have Karen Cassella
No,
here. We have Karen Cassella here,
That's too
register.
funny.
Excuse me for just 1 second, okay? Oh, yeah, Karen brought in my favorite. Tell us what we have here,
Those-
Karen.
We have lemon blueberry cookies. I actually made some homemade drizzle to add a little more sweetness to it, and some double chocolate homemade cookies.
So, the first question I have for you today, okay? Even though you're the Register of Deeds. We were talking earlier about our police department and how good it is, and I feel like we're lucky to have the police department we have.
Right.
So for a mother of someone that's a police officer, you have a son, and your husband's there. Do you sleep at night, or do you sit up a little while thinking about them? Just curious, because it's a job that,
Right.
Any
No, I
minute.
definitely, so I do, one of these, I listen to the scanner. We have a scanner at home. It is bad, but I have to, because I just want to make sure I know exactly what's going to happen when my son's out working. So, but
and you're
I
going to
do-
be on the scene pretty quick,
I'm going to
right?
be there right away. When he first got on, I was listening to it and I was like, "Do you need anything over there? Be careful, it's Appleton Street. You don't know the city like I do."
And how about your new job as a nonny, is it?
Nonny. Oh,
Nonny.
I spent last night after work. I met my son and my granddaughter Sophia in Salem, New Hampshire. They have this jumpy fun city or something it was called.
Yeah.
And then we went for pizza after. So, no matter what the plans are, if she's asking for me to go, we're going.
That's what it's all about.
Right?
Yeah.
All the
So-
years you put in at the registry, how does it feel to go from someone that works there to someone that's leading it?
Right? It's awesome. It really is. It's nothing that I ever thought in a million years that I would have done. And, you know, I got the job when I had my daughter. She was just a year old. And it was just something that I fell into. And I loved it. I loved the people I worked with. And then as, you know, things changed and once for me to run for the register, I only ran for that one reason. There was no growth in our office. It was all eliminated. So, I mean, I ran this first time as a junior clerk. I was there 26 years as a junior clerk. And if you looked at other registries, that's not how it worked. And it wasn't with us. So it kind of, lit a fire for me, and I said, that's it. There's only one way up. So that's how I did it. But I do encourage people, always look around. There are a lot of good jobs out there, and if you really believe in something, go for it.
So let me just, I had Matt Cassella
You did.
work for me, and you and Jimmy have done a great job with that kid. What a great kid.
Thank you.
Good-hearted kid, very compassionate on the job.
Oh, he's very
Which
compassionate.
is very tough to see as someone who grew up in the city, and you have new officers come in, and you can see the kids that grew up in the city and the kids that don't have a clue of what it is to be poor, in need, and in trouble. And your kid went in there, and the compassion that I seen right from the beginning was outstanding. And that's one of the things that you want from a
Right.
police officer.
No, absolutely.
Because, people are at their worst point in their life when you're dealing with a crime or with the police in general. And they just need someone to take a minute and give them an opportunity to speak and be heard. And your
Yeah.
kid does that, but he also is very smart to know on when to step it up. So you don't have to worry. Matt's a good cop. He'll be a
Right.
good cop. He's probably
He
better.
won't need his
he'll-
mother out
No,
there.
he's probably better than Jimmy too. But you guys did an outstanding job bringing
Thank
that
you.
kid into this world, and whatever you did with him, I can't see that changing with the grandkids. So I'm
Right.
glad you guys have more kids. How's that?
Yeah.
And he's definitely
Hey.
better looking than his father.
Okay,
That's for
Mr.
sure.
Bowman, you
Oh,
want to read
yes.
these two?
Fuzzy government words, crime is down, market rate, affordable housing.
Yeah.
Clement Canole, happy holidays, everyone. Everyone Cisco kids still got connections. Please, city needs traffic enforcement, drivers just making their own rules. No right on red stop signs, red lights, start giving tickets, hit the wallet. And they need to get rid of the speed bumps. My kidneys are down by my ankles, John. I see they are starting to build a Holiday Inn at the old Heinz Tavern. built right on the corner and on the sidewalk. No line of sight rules in the city. More townhouses at the old Montford Shoe location. More traffic, more cars, no parking. All the best to all of you. Clemmy Cano is one of the best. One of the best from Drake. Retired firefighter.
Nice.
Yeah, and when I sit here, I have flashbacks, you know what I mean? To Ned Tarmey, we lost recently, and George Anthes before him. Tremendous people, two of them really good people. And they played, especially that, what's the other guy's name from Drake? Oh, John Zimini.
Yeah.
There's another guy.
He's
I
been
miss.
missing lately. He's from Salem now, so that's not.
Oh, is he? Yeah, that's right.
Temporarily. He'll be a Pelham person soon.
Oh,
And if
that's-
George Anthes were alive, right, Bobby, he'd be saying it's Vesna's turn to be the mayor. George always said turns, and it'd be
Yeah.
Vesna's turn.
Yeah, but he might, on this show here, I look at it and he might say to the rest of us, be quiet, let Karen talk. Because, well, the last show, what George Anthes might
Oh.
say, because he was to me, he was the best we ever had. That's,
No, I like George.
yeah, he was a great guy. But I looked at the last show where Tom was the host, and it's not Tom's fault, but for some reason I didn't feel like you got enough time, and Marty sure didn't get enough time. So if you two have anything on your mind, anything you want to say to your friends, like Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, whatever. This would be a
Right.
great time to do it. This would be a great
well, no,
time.
I mean, definitely, I wish everyone a Merry Christmas out there, Happy, Healthy New Year. What is every life about? It's about family. That's number one. I am a very simple person. I've raised my 4 children in a 3-bedroom home, 1 bath. It's very simple, and they all learn how to get along. There was no running to their own bedrooms and not dealing with life. So,
When
as
I-
a mother of 4, you just have to make sure everyone's communicating and dealing with every situation that goes on.
Yeah, when I said Matt was better looking than his dad, the only reason why is Jimmy might have had a few more tussles in life.
Oh, I'm
You
sure.
know, yeah, probably a few more.
The other half, I would think it's the other half of that combination. So, Bobby, if I had to say a little something in regards to good looks,
Now, catch me up. How many grandchildren do you have, Karen?
I have 2.
2.
So,
Both-
yeah,
is it
Jack is 9 months, Sophie is 4.
4 years old already?
Yes, I know.
Time
Goes by.
flies.
It does. It's amazing. I always remember, being younger saying, oh, I can't wait till I'm 18 or 21. And now it's like, it's just going by way too quick. Slow it down.
Where did your husband grow up from? Was he Highlands, Belvedere?
Belvedere.
Was he?
So, I say Belvedere. I could be, some people might call my neighborhood South Lowell. I was on Berkeley Ave.
Okay.
So I went to the
Off
Pine.
of Rogers Street.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I went to J.G. Pine,
Yeah.
and then Moody, and then Lowell High. Jimmy was an immaculate boy.
So,
immaculate
Karen, you've been
conception.
here long enough. What's the big change you see in Lowell?
The big changes, I think, I don't know, I hear people always say we're going in the right direction. I really don't see downtown in the right direction at all. But that's just based on growing up here, seeing what goes on down there. What's bringing me down there, there's really not much. I think we really have to work on some economic development down there.
I was downtown on Saturday afternoon. I had an errand to do. I just took a little stroll through the city. I'm saying 40 years ago, that city at Christmas time, 40 years ago, bustling. Now, I don't know if you heard me say earlier, Dunkin' Donuts, the corner of Central and Merrimack, closed permanently.
No way.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw the sign when I was there Saturday afternoon. It was just unbelievable, so.
I know, well, that's what it is.
And that place was a gold mine with high school kids. You'd go by there, and those kids would be out the door getting their lattes, whatever they drink,
Right.
so.
Well, then there was little breakfast shops everywhere. On Palmer Street,
Dave Robinson's, remember Ray Robinson's?
Mossie's, Captain
Mossie's.
Pizza.
Yeah. All those places.
People
But there's no
always,
stores.
well, that's the problem. And they'll always say, oh, well, the mall's ruined downtown. Not necessarily.
No.
You can get specialty stores. What draws people down there? Those are the stores you need to get down in the
Unless you-
city. And
Well,
we're
Karen,
not,
what's short, most of us don't stop shopping downtown Lowell. Most of us shop on our computer screen.
true.
What's it gonna get me, what's it gonna take to get me off my computer stool into downtown Lowell? And I don't think there's anything.
Free
First
parking
of-
might help, but I don't know.
Well,
Where am I
no,
gonna
mean,
park?
And maybe if they, on a Saturday, had more of like the markets, like close down the downtown area just for a few hours to have people able to walk around.
Well, we got our
Shop,
fair,
but
we
there's
get
no
our fair
shops.
share of, we get our fair share of to-go food. And we always go, somebody's riding shotgun, so there's no place to park.
Right.
You dump the person out of the car, they run inside, get whatever treat you bought from a to-go place, and they get back in the car because there's no place to park.
And I agree. I think we went downtown, and I think it was like 10 or 6, and I didn't know. I said, oh, it's after 5. I didn't put money in the meter. Got out, $25 ticket. I'm like, really?
Welcome to
Take
our-
it to
No, I've been there. My
So
wife
it's-
got two $40 tickets during the Puerto Rican festival. It is what it is, but it's shameful because, again, there's no business down there, and you're trying to bring in business, but you're hurting those businesses by giving out tickets and the 2-hour limit on the meter. If there's an event that you want to participate in downtown, and you put an effort to show up early, let's say the event starts at 5 o'clock, and you go down at 3 o'clock because you want a good parking spot, you should be able to feed the meter as long as you're paying to park there. I think that comes with being there early. That option is out the door when you have a 2-hour minimum.
I see all the signs about 2 hours.
And then let's face it, it's electronically being monitored. So now, 2 hours, there's a little sign going off saying, hey, this car's at its 2 hour limit. And the meter maid has a quota to meet, so he goes over there. It's easy, let's go check the car that has its last minute, and let me just sit around here in case the owner doesn't come out. Oh, I got one ticket. I got 20 more to go for the day, Human nature. If it's easy, they're going to do it. Is that right? And that was one of the things that, that you did play with your meters, your meter maids. You always looked around. She just walked this neighborhood. I'll be all set for a little extra. That's just what we've done for years.
I think they're trying to get people to because the garages aren't limited, right? You can go in the garage all day.
Yeah. Yes.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So it's probably more expensive. I'm assuming.
So, for example,
there's nothing downtown.
This weekend I had a function down there at the old court. So I loaded my truck up. I had to take a chance, park in illegally to unload. Brought all the DJ equipment up. Then I had to go down, secure my vehicle. Had to have someone make sure that the someone didn't walk away with stuff. So I had someone there. Then after I unloaded, I had to come down to the truck, jump in the truck, take it to the parking garage, park it, and then walk back. Now, if I'm an entertainer, usually I would show up a couple hours early, get a good spot close to the venue, and have no problem feeding the meter, knowing that, hey, I want the easy in and easy out. You can't do that anymore. So why would I take any jobs downtown? Anyone that needs a DJ down there, it's going to be
Cisco, don't you
double
realize
the amount.
what's it going to take for the general public to realize shopkeepers, like my employees, they don't park next to the door. That's just that it doesn't go that way. I'm sorry, that's for the customers. And but downtown Lowell, the proprietors of those restaurants, their cars parked right out front.
Well, they need to change their habits. I mean, if they want to stay in business.
And same for the entertainers.
Yes,
I know
agree.
for a fact, I've been told this for the fact the shrine down at St. Joseph's Shrine down on Lee Street, that there are high school teachers that eat up those parking spots. So I guess I don't know if it's I don't know if it's the city manager's office, the parking department. They gave the church some clergy parking, like some of the churches have, but they were parking with, right on the street and tying those well, you can't tie them up all day then, right, Cisco? If
No,
there's a 2
today,
hour limit?
yeah, there's a 2 hour limit
Yeah.
now.
But they say this, what is it? What was the mill, where am I? The mill, there was a mill
Mill
over here.
5?
They moved to downtown Lowell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
They think that's gonna be this messiah? No, it's not gonna be. It's,
No.
I know, unfortunately, I don't think that.
No.
I mean, it's cute. I was just in there. It's really
the
cute.
new one? The new one? Yeah. But I mean,
But
you gotta get and it's gone. You had Jordan Marsh downtown, which is now Macy's. You had
Right.
other
Cherry and
stores.
Webb,
Yeah.
Tom
all gone.
McCann.
All
But
gone.
that's what
You
I'm
know,
saying. You
yeah.
have to get some of those stores.
Yesterday I went to the Olympus Bakery and I got a raspberry stick and orange cake. I can't wait to hit a cookie, but I told you why I don't eat the food while I'm on the show. But
Tell us,
but
Bob.
I use the Olympus Bakery quite a bit, and I never have a problem with parking. If I can't get a spot in front of them, I park on Adams Street.
Yeah.
And then I used to always go to the Olympia. I miss that place.
Yeah, Olympia was the best, and I don't think it's going to come back.
Oh, boy, yeah.
No, I don't think so either.
Yeah. And everybody says, I'm not knocking the Athenian, but they say the Athenian is good, but there's nothing like the Olympia,
Yeah, but getting back to how do you fix it, look at, they got drones in some states delivering packages.
Right.
I mean,
No,
that's
I
what
know,
you're
it
up
is.
against,
Right.
you know?
But I remember being 14, I couldn't wait to get on that city bus to get downtown
Same
and walk
here.
around.
As a kid,
Yeah, was
and the city was bustling.
You did all your Christmas
School vacation,
shopping.
we could do the same thing, go down and hang out with your
But
friends downtown.
All
Lowell.
those old mills, like they're right on the river, some of those.
Yeah.
You couldn't like make those into like shops and real like a outlet
Yeah.
to draw people.
Tarsi
Exactly.
Pouliot said that 40
I
years
mean,
ago.
So it's
Tarsi
just,
Pouliot wanted to put outlet stores in the buildings, and they told him, they kind of poo-pooed the idea Lowell is better than outlet stores. Basically, that's
Right.
what they said to him.
You ever go to Lawrence,
yeah.
Yeah.
right, recently?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, my wife came
Seems
from
like that
Lawrence.
place is booming. You know,
Okay.
as far as traffic goes
Yeah.
and people walking the streets, Seems like it's,
If you want business to come back to downtown Lowell, you got to talk to our precious state reps and create a sales tax-free downtown Lowell. If there's no sales tax on the TV set you buy in downtown Lowell, people will go down there to save $15.
Right.
And Bobby Lawrence says they don't have any like brand name stores, but they have a lot of those shops along there.
Yeah.
From,
Well, they
from the
had
Puerto
that
Rican, they have
new-
a big community, Puerto Rican community down
Yeah,
Lawrence.
Dominican,
They have these little
Puerto Rican.
shops, and it's to their specialty. But that's why you sometimes can't get a parking spot in downtown Lawrence. It's different than Lowell. You can get that spot almost any time.
But even that New Balance outlet, they've had that
Yes,
for years.
yes.
That always draws people into that
Yep,
area.
Exactly.
But you need like certain stores that you have to buy sneakers, right? You're looking for a good deal.
I remember about 10 years ago, or 15 years ago maybe, they had a Ralph Lauren shop in Lawrence, one of those, in the outlets, in Sal's buildings, but that's gone away now. But I mean,
They had
still, that was
Caps.
Oh, yeah.
that was one in downtown Lowell,
Yeah.
downtown Lawrence, yeah. So.
I got a question.
Of course.
Registry of Deeds, if you're gonna look at the forecast of real estate for next year, you get all the reports coming in, you see the housing sales. What do you think, I mean, we're talking about Lowell now coming back. What do you see for the next year with real estate here in the city?
I think right now everything's pretty much being stabilized. There's no overbidding for properties. Everyone keeps saying there's not a lot out there, but I don't see people overbidding like they used to. I do think that we're seeing a lot more tax liens, executions. I think people are going to fall into a little trouble, and it would happen in 2008, and when you start to see the sheriff coming in on a daily basis recording liens against property, we're not all doing well. So I think people have maxed out on their credit cards.
Yeah.
So it's going to catch up to them now. But we do definitely see that. So I don't see a lot of people. I mean, and people, I always tell realtors, people that are if you can go into the registry or even online and just look to see what's out there for the liens, for the executions.
Right.
Those are people, order a notices, you want to target them. Get them to sell now because this is the beginning of them losing their home. So to help them out, maybe they can make some money and get into a smaller home or whatnot, but I don't know that.
I'll walk away with some cash.
Right. Well, a lot of people don't do that. They just let it go.
Yeah.
And I never understood why they would do that when, especially, as the market was going up, people were still losing their homes.
Well, as you likely know, I insist to our educators, be it school committee people, whoever, superintendents of school, that we teach personal finance to people.
Right.
that's coming, buddy.
Most households, one person's paying the bills. So what's it gonna take, Mr. or Madam Bill Payer, to tell your pillow mate, we ain't cutting the mustard? How long do you wait before you tell your pillow mate, your spouse, we're losing the house? At what point, what's the threshold? These are the things we have to learn. If we're in over our head, get a light
Right,
preserver
right.
and get out of there.
Right.
You know, what's helped Lowell a little bit, not too much. The thing that would help Lowell the most would probably drop the rates down. They're too high. Back when we could get it for 3%, these kids now are looking at much more than that, correct?
Right, exactly. But that would cause a nice refi boom for banks and
Yeah. But what saves Lowell, to me, like I look at my street, Stratham Street, there's about 11 houses on it. 2 have recently sold, and against what you've said, they had a bidding war. Both of them sell for a little bit more. And both of them were Cambodian people. And I've said this for years. Cambodian people, they know how to live together. They know how to save their money. And I think that's about what's going to keep us, the people that own a home, don't worry. This is the way I think. Don't worry about it. A Cambodian person will buy our home. That's how I feel. Because I've witnessed it, 2 on my street. One, Dave Daly bought. Oh, what a deal he made. Yeah, he promised me lunch. I think I could still squeeze one out of him. he bought a single family up there for like $320,000. I go, these houses, Dave, these houses were built back in Civil War days. Really, 2x3 construction. I mean, come on. Buys it for $320, puts 20 in it, sold it, and then he's got 2 lots with it.
Right.
And I'm sitting
No,
on
you
the same
can't
street.
limit
No,
that.
I'm sitting on the same street. Why didn't I buy it? You
Right.
know? But I still see them little things that are helping us out, by the way. That's all.
Right.
I think Lowell's a pretty good city. Our houses are going to come down. I believe that.
Mhm.
I believe that.
Well, yeah, they're not good. I mean, they can't go up anymore.
Bobby, your buddy, president's trying to get people to sign off on 50-year mortgages. What's your opinion on that?
Yeah, I don't like that.
Okay, the same here.
I don't like that either.
I think that's indentured servants. And it's great for the banking world, because guess what? If you don't pay your mortgage, they make more money when that happens. I mean, that's dangerous. 50-year loans, not good. Not good.
My son said to
Cisco,
me,
I sit on the other side of the bench. I think it's a wonderful idea.
Yeah.
The sooner you can get equity in the real estate you're sitting in, the wealthier you're going to be when you're an old buckaroo.
What's the chance of someone, now you get a 30-year mortgage, how many times do you remortgage in
Yeah.
the lifetime of that mortgage? And when I saw 50, I said, wow, if you're remortgaging 2 or 3 times over 30 years, at least 50, you get it's like the cars, you buy a car now, you get 6 years to pay it off. Used to be 3.
Yeah.
So they're extending.
No, they even do 7 sometimes.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Also, the silly restrictions they give you. Some banks, they'll say, you can't pay down on any equity until 5 years into the loan. Why can't, it's just written into the loan.
Yeah,
So if you want to, like what we used to do with our mortgage payment, we rounded it up, was like $53, so we rounded it up to the next 100. That adds up over 20 years. But nowadays, banks say, can't do that no more.
Right.
They're selling out the mortgages too.
Yeah.
They get a mortgage in within a year or two, they're selling them out to the secondary market.
Well, that's the first thing Enterprise did. They sold my mortgage. So I called my friend that I went to the bank for. I went to the bank for you, and you sold my mortgage? And she says, we did? I says, yeah, your bank sold my mortgage. And I was furious. I went to my friend, thinking I'd rather go borrow my money off my friend.
Right.
They sold me down the river.
you know, Cisco, when you said my friend, looks for a 50-year mortgage, my friend also is looking to drop that rate down, get it down. I think it would be huge. People would be refinancing, you know how people
Right.
are.
Oh, yeah.
They're going to use their house as a bank, and refinance.
No,
A lot of people are waiting to do that.
I mean, if
believe.
you educate people about money, yeah, that could work out in the sense that as long as they understand that you got to pay more money on that when you're making more money. The thing with 50 years that scares me is the stability of the economy. Just being here, 55 years, I've seen the economy. It's a roller coaster ride. There's tons of money being made sometimes, and then there's no money. And that's happened my 50 years at least twice or maybe 3 times where we got caught up. In the 80s, we got caught up with it, recently with COVID, and now, here we're on the flip side. We're on the top of the hill, which, you see signs that it's going to go down soon, you know what I mean? So, as long as there's stability in the economy, I can see people, benefit from that, but I can see, what do people do when they have money? Real estate people, they wait for the economy to change, and then they buy the property cheap.
Mr. Bomil, read this one.
Merry Christmas to all. Love the show. Fred Wilkie. Merry Christmas, Fred.
Merry Christmas.
I used to sit on the show camera to say, what can I say today to get people talking?
Right?
What's on your mind?
I know. Well, I have a homeless brother. I think we've talked about it several times.
Yeah.
And I just went to, so he's walking around the streets with nowhere to go. He won't go to the shelter. That is heartbreaking. It's
Yeah, but is it,
That's
to
the
me,
first-
is
I never
it,
knew
is it
this.
alcohol or drugs? One or the
alcohol.
other.
Oh, he's
Al-
an alcoholic.
See,
Yeah.
and you know what? It's funny.
He doesn't touch
How
any
much-
drugs.
How much do we talk about alcohol?
Right?
Talk about drugs a lot, mental health issues. Let me tell
Mm-hmm.
you something. Alcohol is it's not a good thing. Alcohol's
Right.
terrible. People can get addicted to that. I had it in my family. It's craziness, to be honest with you.
Right.
Yeah. So good luck to you. Good luck.
I know, right? It's
I never knew that. Wow.
Oh, and
yeah. He's
He's in the area?
yeah. He hangs around like the High Street area, High and Oak Street.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was up ringing the bell. I was up ringing the bell last Friday morning at Market Basket, and this gentleman, I could tell he was going to start a conversation with me. And he says, "You bring a lot of money in for the Army?" I said, "Yeah." I don't get any of it, and I was trying to bait me. So I'm saying, "No, don't worry about it." I said, I haven't eaten in 3 days. So I tell you what, the bus is free. Get on this bus, go down to the Salvation Army, and they'll feed you. Although they won't. He was just trying to be negative with the whole thing.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I said, "This conversation's over." I said,
Right.
"I'm trying to help you. I'm trying to give you some direction here." And they would have. They would have got him sometime. They might not be having meals that day. They would have got him a sub or something at Santoro's or something.
They
along
want
that.
money.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
the problem. Like
Yeah.
that's my brother. Why does everyone want to feed the homeless? We don't want food. We want beer. We want cigarettes, and we want cash money. He'll go cash money, so we can buy his cigarettes.
Yeah, so
You
the
know,
drugs
so-
take over, and I'm sorry, but I'm on the other side that alcohol is a drug. It's as bad or worse than any other drug, okay? Once you're addicted to it and it takes over the
Right.
decision-making process, that's my concern.
you
Once
think-
the drug starts making decisions, that's when we need to change that.
You know what alcohol's probably caused the most of? Divorce. Divorce. Cisco, you know where we come from.
Oh, no.
It was all divorce. You know?
But it's taught. It's taught. Hey, if you're having a bad day, go have a couple of beers. It's taught at work for the laborers. They work all day long, and then they go and drink their money. You know what I mean? And they do it every day, and that's how they hook them up to
So
get
what's
them
the
up on the
fix?
roof.
What's the fix?
The fix is to teach people that alcohol is a drug, and some of us are not made the same. Some of us can turn that desire for the drug off, and some cannot. And you need to teach people that, hey, you're allergic to this drug, alcohol. You can be allergic. It's like penicillin. People that are
where do
allergic
we
to
teach this?
penicillin, stay away from it.
Where do we teach this? Church?
We need to. It starts early. You're right. At church, before the
Well-
kid's 7 years old, he needs to fear drugs.
So he
How's
goes.
that?
So the little kiddo goes home and he tells his dad, "Dad, you shouldn't be drinking." You see the disconnect
No,
there?
I understand that, and the kids see this. The kids look. If you grow up in a house where there's alcohol used every weekend, and you see that, and you see, oh, look at mommy and daddy, they're all happy. Look, they're having a party this week. They're drinking. Guess what? That kid desires that. For my example, I use that. I grew up where alcohol was treated like any other beverage at the table. So when I turned 21, I didn't really jump on it. I was like, yeah, I've been drinking since I was 12. It was, just another beverage. And it wasn't anything that I desired, that I wanted so bad. I mean, we have to change how we see alcohol. Unfortunately, it is a drug, and there are people that are allergic to it, that cannot turn off the desire to drink. And there's a lot of people out there. We're humans. We're addicted. Every human's addicted to something. And some of us are addicted to drugs and alcohol.
And the other thing is, though, it's something that's drawing them to it. It's just like drugs. They're doing it for a reason, to suppress their feelings about whatever it is. And when my brother, I had sectioned him last year, his therapist that was at the RCA in Danvers, she told me that he's got some deep, deep trauma that he doesn't want to deal with. And until he does, we're
It's
going
the
to
best
get...
step you can take is section it.
I did,
all
I
you
know,
got.
and it didn't work. It
That's
doesn't,
all
I mean,
It
we've
doesn't
been
work.
doing,
It might- yeah.
we've been doing it for years.
Yeah, 30 days is not enough to get off an
But
addiction.
he even was in there from January 24th last year till April 17th, and he still went right out, grabbed a beer.
Well,
Does
shut
he have
off his
family?
check. If we shut off his disability check,
He doesn't get one.
he's getting money from someplace.
He
Just the
doesn't.
street?
Just the street.
Wow.
But they don't need much.
I mean, he
They
did,
only need a few bucks to get a bottle of like Mad Dog 2020.
But I will say
Yeah, where you
this.
sleeping tonight, Bobby?
Huh?
Where you sleeping tonight?
Behind a
I
dumpster.
know, that's what I'm worried about. But
I know where I'm sleeping
I'm
tonight.
going to say he does have an EBT card that someone in that area helped him at one point with, and they use it. He doesn't even have it. He never has had it. So I went with them, and I went on my phone because it's an automated system, and I just had a new card sent, so he can use it. I don't know. He can use it at the convenience store, maybe.
Yeah.
Or a food store, but I don't know if he'd even walk there. But at least now he'll get to use his own card because when I went through it, this person that has it, no one cares. They get their money on December 11th. They're using it December 13th. He got money November 11th. They used it November 13th. Whoever is using his money.
Yeah, probably
Now, how-
repaying them with some
Where was the
booze.
card mailed to your house? And you
So
said
this
you-
one
a
was
new
mailed
card
to my
you?
house. Well,
You
that's
give it
the
to him?
address he uses.
But I'm saying, that's his.
Well, sadly,
he-
they don't shut the old card off.
Yeah, but they
Well,
just,
I
The
you gotta
state,
change the PIN
I
number,
did.
right?
I changed
You
the
cha-
PIN.
So,
So I think we'll try it in January. No, I have the card. He's not gonna get it unless I go see him and he can use it with me. I'll take him to
buying
the
what he
market.
needs. Yep, buying needs.
If
You
I
have-
give
Does
it
he have
to
any
him, he'll
family?
give it to someone.
You
Does he have any
won't-
family? Meaning family, wife, kids? Does he
No,
have any- nothing?
no.
But you won't have to worry about him, you going to get him. He'll find you.
Oh, he calls me all the
Okay,
time.
he'll find you because he wants that card. He wants that card. But you know, I witnessed you inside a church once, okay? Funeral going, and the way you treated your brother. I think I'm sitting there going like this. Look at how she's treating him. Because I know your brother a little bit about him. But the love you give him, oh man, I'll tell you, I had a few of them come at me when I had my problem. It's amazing what family is. When you said
Right.
family.
not family,
Exactly.
a sister.
Yeah, I had
You know?
a brother that come up big for me, and John McDonough is another one that come up big for me. It's a good feeling.
Right.
Talk about humbling you. It's crazy when you see how many people went after you to help you, you know. But your brother, I had two uncles. They used to work at the Brookside Calf for Billy Shea.
Oh, boy.
They used
Billy
and
Shea.
all they did was clean his bar. They lived in the bar at night and then cleaned it in the daytime. Well, what do you think they're doing all night long?
Yeah.
Right.
So when one of them lost a job, he got to the point he was, I mean this, drinking witch hazel. And I don't even know what witch hazel is.
Right.
Wow.
That's how bad we had. They never made it to 40.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like my brother, because it's beer,
Yeah.
it's a little bit different than if he was drinking vodka or gin
Yeah,
or something.
that's true.
It's a harder alcohol.
Well, it's funny, my wife's brother, two brothers, alcoholics, never homeless. Well, one was homeless for a while, but his brother, Patrick, who actually lived with us for a while, he was an alcoholic, and he straightened himself out. Moved to Florida, met a nice girl.
Right.
All of a sudden, her father died, and then it hit him, and he went to a deep, and they found him dead one day. He basically drank himself to death. You know, it's a good
It
guy.
is sad.
Yeah.
Very
Yeah.
sad.
I can only speak for
But
a
you're-
few of us, right? But we're very lucky to have the women we have, okay? Let me just say that. I don't know how to pay a phone bill. No, I'm serious. My wife does everything. I don't have to go shopping.
Right.
The only Christmas gifts I gave out was here today, and I got one for you and one for Marty over there. That's all I did this year. And last year I gave nothing out, and everybody gave me
Well,
something.
you said you walked in, you were a Jehovah's
Jehovah's
Witness.
Witness.
Yeah. That's awesome.
I'm just lucky, that's all. When you get the right woman, it's just, you're lucky. And if they can put up with people like me, God bless them.
We got 2 more days before Christmas. What do you guys, you got your shopping all done?
Oh, yeah.
No,
Yeah.
I gotta go find something for my wife.
Yeah, I tell her that we just go out and enjoy ourselves throughout the year.
That's what we do. We don't
We
really
do,
buy.
yeah,
really,
we do.
if we
And
want
if she
something,
needs
then,
something, just go buy it.
Exactly.
I mean,
exactly.
it's just easier on, we're so busy. We got a couple places we're gonna go visit on Christmas Eve, and then we're gonna end up at not Plum Island, but very close. We're gonna be at Salisbury for Christmas Day. We're gonna go out and spend the
Your friends
Christmas
out there?
dinner. Yeah. Her
Nice.
cousin,
Oh.
Jody and Kevin.
Great.
So we're gonna go see them. We're always honored to be invited.
You know what else I like about Lowell?
What,
Look at the beaches we have.
right?
30 minutes away.
That's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
We're pretty lucky, you know. I can't afford to buy one at Seabrook.
Huh.
That place is ridiculous. But Hampton,
I
look
know
at how much
Seabrook.
money they put into it.
Same thing, but those condos in Hampton
Well,
are
they're
so very
that
expensive
whole
too.
like renovation they're gonna be doing,
Yeah.
right? Salapoli's doing
And if
that.
Salisbury had ever
Huge.
got the
Where,
casinos
down in
10 years
Salisbury?
ago.
Hampton.
Yeah, they made
Hampton.
it.
Oh,
I think
really?
their
That's
leaders
awesome,
made
yeah.
mistakes. Salisbury's
It
made
was
some
disapproved.
mistakes.
Yeah, no, I thought Salisbury should have got the casino. I thought that would have been a good spot, especially where there was some land to be developed there on, and it would actually benefit those
Right in
communities
the ocean. Right in the
with
ocean.
fighting Mother Nature, because they're spending a lot of money trying to keep those homes from going into the sea, which eventually is going to happen. All those houses on Plum Island, Plum Island is not going to be an island for too long. you know?
Yeah.
I was down there on the motorcycle last year, and they spent, I forget how much money, the Army Corps engineers just offshore to revert the waves. And I get down there, and the guys were putting sandbags up on the street because the water was coming that far up still. And to your point, I think you're right. It didn't look promising for them.
No,
Right.
it's only a matter of time. It
I
might
think
not
John-
happen in our
If you
lifetime,
went
but
to
it's coming.
Seabrook or any of the beaches as a child,
Yeah.
now look at where the beach is.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, whoa,
You
you know,
know,
it's
Uh,
insane.
George Bossy lives in harm's way. He's from
Oh,
that
yeah,
area.
yeah.
And not too long ago, it's funny because he just had his wrestling tournament
Right.
in Lowell, and it draws thousands of people. It's unbelievable. But think about George Bossy, 50, 60 years of wrestling coaching, and he's still involved in it. I did see him catch a 48, Marty, what do you hear this one? A 48 striper, 48 inches. And that's a big fish. And the question I asked on the show, did he slap the fish across the puss when he was bringing it into the boat? Because that's how he started all the wrestlers. He stopped doing it
You
because
had
of
to.
the world we're
Yeah,
living in.
Exactly.
But he has touched a lot of lives in all that guy.
Yeah,
Wow.
he certainly
You
did.
said his pictures, I think, are all over that bait shop down there on Plum Island.
Yeah. Surfland.
Surfland.
Surfland, yeah.
That's nice.
Right on the main street as you come onto the island off the bridge. Yes, it's up on the right-hand side. Kate
Yeah.
used to run that. And Martha's running the bait shop now.
Well, nice people.
No, very nice people. I mean, they always were very nice to my dad. So, and my dad didn't speak much English, but he loved to go fishing. That was something I missed today. I wish he was still around.
Mhm.
So that's the stuff you start thinking about during the holidays. You know, so I mean, just go out, reach out to your family, make sure you give them a hug. You never know.
You talk about, my father told me stories. He was poor when
Yeah.
he was like a kid. And he said, I remember one year he said, he got an apple for Christmas. An apple. And he was
Yeah.
excited again.
Yeah.
And the following year, he got an apple and a bag of nuts. It was like, because they had a little extra money. But then things turned around for him, and he was very, not successful. He was a high school graduate, but he made so much money in the stock market. His mother, who owned a tenement not too far from here, and it's gone now, Ben Scott.
Yeah.
They were poor, but then she made an investment, and she bought the tenement place, and that's how he had a brand new car when he was 18, when he got out of high school.
That's
So,
awesome.
Yeah.
I mean,
We were still getting, I retired, when I retired, I was down there. Every once in a while, we still get, junk mail, the flyers for Ben's Court.
Really?
Down there.
Yeah.
It was really.
Well, there's actually still a sliver there. If you look at that,
Yeah.
I remember Lenny Rapone showing me right near the dot, right next to the barber shop. There's
right
like a
next
sliver,
to
yeah.
it.
Yeah.
But yeah, there was no houses on it.
No,
And every
No.
once in a while, you'd see something come in Ben's Court.
Yeah.
Did the Powerball get hit last night?
No, that McDonough told me no.
Imagine
It was
that.
1.6
imagine.
billion last night, so.
Can you imagine? You're gonna get
Christmas
more
Eve.
money.
Christmas Eve.
Christmas Eve. Yeah, more money than some of these
Oh, is it
small
next drawing tomorrow
countries.
night?
Yeah,
Next drawing tomorrow?
yeah.
I'll have to get some
$2
tickets.
billion. Oh wow,
I know.
mucho dinero. I don't know. That's just. So I'm happy where I'm at. Money's not everything.
So you wouldn't
It
take
is,
you know.
1.6 billion?
No,
back?
no, we would all take that easily.
You'll always take
yeah,
it,
yeah,
but
yeah.
it does change
It
things,
does
right?
change things.
I remember years ago that when the lottery first came out, there were 6 numbers. Remember that when it
Yeah,
first started?
yeah.
And
That's it.
they made a ton of money for the bookies and people at work because they had the 2 numbers in the middle, so everyone had a pool for
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Right.
But the first few people that won $1 million filed bankruptcy. Remember that? They
Yeah.
got the money and they went
Right.
crazy
Oh,
spending.
no, I know a guy in Drake that won big, and because you know what he did? He bought a lot of scratch tickets, and I know another guy the same way. They get it, but they never made the money back that they won because
Right,
they're always
right.
they're in the stores every day. I mean, I see it all the time. It's
So they just spend, I know.
yeah.
Well, no, the Keno's a big thing.
Yeah.
And people like spend their days in these convenience stores, like all day.
I remember years
They do.
ago, I saw
Gambling's not a problem.
No, not.
Not in
That is so funny.
Massachusetts.
Especially when it's coming to your phone. What do you think that's going to do?
Oh, right.
Yeah.
How about football now? You can bet right on your couch.
your phone,
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't even have I don't bank online. I don't.
Oh, you don't?
No. I just
Is
won't.
that,
Well, that's
is
what I'm
that
thinking.
going to be the next
Well, that's what I'm saying.
generation?
I got a check
Everyone-
the other day. My son owed me some money. He gave me a check. I didn't have to go to the bank. Right on my phone, went to the bank. was in
I
the
know,
bank.
that's what my kids do,
It's
and I
amazing.
won't.
That's why banks are going to be gone
I don't
in
even
10
have
years.
a debit card. I have to go to the bank to get the cash. And they said, Karen, will you get a debit card? I'm like, no,
Something,
I
I
don't
still
want
But
write
I think
checks.
banks are going to be
I do. I write the
obsolete in
checks.
10 years. I don't think because you can do so much right online.
Oh, no,
There'll
the
still
bank-
be a bank, but
The
you won't
banks
be
are still making lots of money.
but there won't be a building. I don't.
You
think.
got to
I think
read
there'll
those
be-
fine prints.
Yeah.
You know, there's all kinds of fees
But to
associated.
make a deposit without leaving my house, and it
Yeah, no.
was in there
Tommy?
in 5 seconds.
How do you deposit $100 cash?
ATM machine.
So how do you get $100 cash? Cash is king, no matter where you go.
What's your point?
Banks will always be there.
No, they won't. I don't see it.
To your point,
Walk
you're
in
smart.
there. There's nobody.
I,
I walk in and see these girls and say, "Listen, she said, the other day I had to go in a Salem 5 because I had to give some paperwork to somebody." And she said, "You're the first person that's walked in the store. They went open since 9 o'clock, and that was at
Wow.
10:15.
Wow.
You know, I mean, nobody's.
No one goes anymore.
No. But
But,
John might be right. You know,
I was on the phone last week with a federal agent from the Postal Inspector Service. I had something I had a question on. I'm a former employee, so we get talking. And they were telling me they just took down a case where on the phone, you know how they always send you those text messages,
Yeah.
click this, click that?
Yeah.
You do your banking on your phone now. You hit that click, they're right into your account.
Oh yeah.
I couldn't
That's-
believe it. They said, you click that, and they're into your phone now, into your banking.
Well, if you click that, but if you ever use your own app, it's not going to happen.
I have no idea.
Yeah.
I don't
Like I have an
understand this
app.
stuff.
Yeah.
How about that thing that happened in Minnesota? It's up to like 18 billion.
Really?
Fraud
Oh,
case.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, it's crazy numbers they're talking about.
The mayors just came out, like 18 or 20 of them, saying the cities and towns are broke because of this. And that they want investigations and.
Every state's going to start looking at
Right,
fraud,
right.
though. Yeah.
Well, I will say this, even for that EBT card, that they have a brochure inside, and it says anyone can use this card if you're a friend, a spouse, a caregiver. Well, anyone could say, "Yeah, I'm his caregiver." You know what? If it's just so it's not illegal to use someone's card. It's just crazy to me. I know.
I agree.
You have to use the PIN, but I feel like when I worked at Market Basket as a child, and they had the food stamps back then, or it was like the dollars, right?
Yes,
yeah.
yeah.
I think they had to show an ID, picture ID. I feel like they did.
I remember, and it was funny, the other day I was at Market Basket. You know, people, like you said, they use the debit card when they
Yeah.
pay for this. First time I had seen in a long time somebody cashing, paying for the
I
groceries
right.
with a check.
I know.
And I'm saying, whoa.
They
And
don't
the
even
girl
know
said
how
to me,
to- I know.
The girl said to me, there are still some out there that still deal older people. They'll do it with a check.
I still do,
You
Tom.
pay, you
Karen,
you gotta get into the 90s,
I
kid.
know.
I mean,
so Karen, I agree with you. There was an ID behind the services back
Right.
then. But things have changed by the people who are running these programs. Oh, you're going to make people feel bad. Well, guess what? They don't want to lose their customers. It's just like the methadone clinic. If you come in high on drugs and you're being treated, they can't kick you off the program, okay? Which is really weird because you're supposed to be there to get better, not worse, but yet they can't kick you off. Well, again, these nonprofits that run these government agencies that run these programs, being poor is profitable for someone, all right? And guess what? If you donate, just like the methadone, the more addicts you have that don't leave the program, that's more customers. Just like gambling, just like, sports, same thing. You hook someone, there are customers for life.
Right.
Same thing on government side. If you're running an agency and you see those numbers going down, you're like, oh, why are we losing customers? Oh, they feel bad that they have to show ID and they don't want to be ridiculed. Oh, guess what? Well, change that. So that's what's happened.
Right.
So now you can join any program with little identification, and you're a customer. Now you're another number. Guess what? We're going to have to hire a couple more managers.
Right.
Because our customer base has gone up. Things have to change.
so Karen, when you say you
Accountability.
don't use a debit card, you're afraid of the fraud thing? Is that what you're afraid of? You just,
I just don't want to deal with
Yeah.
someone going into the account.
okay. I know some people, like I said, yeah.
Yeah, so
Well,
I
when
just,
you use your debit card, you can never get your money back.
I know, that's what I've
Your debit
heard.
card it's open to your bank account. Oh, I'm going to pay for this this tire with my debit card. You can never get your money back. Use a credit card, and the tire's bad. You
Right.
can get your money back.
And I waitress, right, 2 days a week usually, so I just use cash.
Yeah.
Or I just go to the bank if I need extra cash.
I'll bet you don't get many cash tips, right?
I purposely pay
I-
cash.
I
Yeah.
pay-
No, I'm
Yeah.
just saying.
No, I would say it's 50-50. It depends
Really?
on the night. It depends on the night, but,
Now, do you get it that night?
Yep.
As soon as because I heard the old days you'd have to wait a week or something. to
Right,
get
no,
before- yeah,
there's
you
certain
still get-
restaurants that,
Yeah.
like Fishbones, my daughter waitresses there.
Yeah.
And at the end of the night, she gets her cash,
Yeah.
whatever she got for cash tips, but anything more than that, she has to wait for her check.
Okay, I've
next
heard
week.
that, yeah.
No taxes on
Okay,
that?
guys, we got a minute left if you want to
There's
wish.
always
Right, no
taxes on it.
taxes.
All
Producers
right?
talking.
Always taxes.
Producers
paid.
talking.
Merry Christmas time. We got a minute left.
Oh, yes. Merry Christmas.
Everyone,
Yeah,
Merry
Merry
Christmas.
Come
Enjoy
out
your
and see me at
family.
Market Basket this morning. I'm ringing a bell till about 9:45.
Oh, I thought
We've been
you would be
here.
sacking my groceries. Well, Marty might be soon. That's the only job available.
Paper or plastic, paper or plastic.
Hey, look, he's good. Come, I'll give you some training. I did it for 8 years.
And if
That
you-
was part of the fun jobs in Lowell.
If you're online, you can look at my brother Gary Hoey, Ho Ho Hoey Christmas. He plays songs with his guitar. Tremendous to
Oh,
It's
nice.
tremendous.
Yeah, he's one of the
That's
best in the
awesome.
country.
Yeah, he's good. No doubt about it.
All
But
right.
Karen, thanks for the
Thanks,
wait
Karen.
till you see how fast I get a baggie and put some of them in a baggie and take them home.
You mean we can have live entertainment? All
Yeah,
right.
oh, yeah.
Next
Don't
year,
forget
live
your
entertainment.
Don't forget your meatloaf. Don't forget your meatloaf.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna
Yeah. Karen, if you
meatloaf
want to
and
take a-
cookies. I'm gonna be eating. I'm not leaving the house today. No Christmas shopping today.
And thanks to the producer. We all-
Yeah,
Yeah,
thank you,
Merry-
John.
You're
Great
welcome. Merry
job.
Christmas. Happy
Great
New
job.
Year.
Merry
Thank you,
Christmas.
everyone. Merry
Merry
Christmas.
Christmas.
Christmas, Merry
Happy and
Christmas.
healthy New Year.
Yep.
We'll leave it there. Thanks for watching. See you next time.
Bye.